I take your point. You're absolutely right. You were advocating for land expropriation long before. You were advocating for certain policies, but you were also in defense of the very same people that you're saying that actually they've been giving us nothing for the past 25 years.
Do you know, a proper reading of politics at all times is that you must look into what are the objective and subjective aspects that are at play, right? There are lots of subjective issues that got to undermine the struggle of economic freedom in the Congress movement. And that is why it found an organizational expression outside. And it is the most powerful thing to could have ever happened in South Africa, right? We did say to the people of South Africa that we thought that this struggle can be won within the Congress movement, but it is not possible. And it is illustrated now, like vividly, through the ANC's failure to provide proper and durable solutions for the future. Like you can check into what they say in their manifesto. They've got no commitments that are different to what they've made in the past 25 years. They are even blaming their own organization. They are failing to take collective responsibility on the years where Jacob Zuma was president. All of them were there. They're saying, no, it was because of Jacob Zuma that the problems happened. But it was their collective failure in incompetence that defined them. And they still do not have a vision on how they're going to create jobs, on how they're going to bring land to our people, in terms of how we're going to empower women and youth in particular. But the EFF manifesto is detailed in terms of each and every action on how we're going to create jobs, how we're going to give the land to our people, how we're going to deal with all these other issues that have to be dealt with.
What analysts were saying yesterday about it. And these are conversations, there's nothing more beautiful than having a conversation with the actual source, right?
Yes.
Analysts were sitting here saying, you know what, I don't think the EFF have correctly thought about where the money is going to come from for the very same proposals that they're putting forward for South Africans. That they're great proposals, right? 12,500 rand for mine workers, going into the local income earners, giving them dignity, doubling the social grant. Great. Where's it going to come from, and how is it going to come?
I'm very shocked that you're saying this analyst who came to say that here, because part of the chapters in the manifesto of the EFF is a chapter on the fiscal framework, which basically says that this is how we're going to maximally collect taxes in South Africa. Part of the failures of the post-1994 government has been its inability to maximally collect taxes. That is why we've got the phenomena of illicit financial flows, of tax avoidance and base erosion, where the multinational corporations are not paying taxes here in South Africa. They instead pay in tax havens in Guyana, in the British Island, in Bermuda,
and you speak about inheritance tax as well.
And of course, as part of the tax categories that are going to introduce will be the inheritance tax and the capital gains tax. So there is a huge possibility in South Africa to could collect within 5 years an additional, like an increase by 100% in terms of revenue collection. Is that because the politicians that are in office and in power now, they are in collaboration with these multinational companies. It is not a secret that the sitting president had shares in Lonmin, which has got secret accounts in Bermuda. They become lackluster in terms of how they deal with maximal tax collection. That is one thing that we have to deal with. The second issue is to deal with state capacity. Let us eliminate all these consultants and all these middlemen who are providing services on behalf of the state. That becomes cheaper. It means you're saving a lot of money. Let us have one capital city of South Africa where the administration and the legislature are all in Pretoria, so that you do not have this wasteful expenditure of ministers and DGs and DDGs and staff of ministries traveling in between Cape Town every day in a wasteful way, both for time and for money. Let us reduce cabinet. Let us deal with a variety of issues.
So the fiscal ministers anymore.
We do not need that, because if you were to check what are the roles of ministers or deputy ministers now, you will realize that majority of them are not adding any value. You don't know who's the deputy minister of water. You do not know who's the deputy minister of environmental affairs. You do not know what is the role of any of these people who are there. They are just glorified executive personal assistants of ministers. They're not members of cabinet. They're not adding any value. But at what cost do deputy ministers come at? They've got drivers, they've got cars, they've got houses, both in Cape Town and in Pretoria. They've got staff, personal staff that take care of them every day. But they're not adding any value in terms of the discourse of a developmental agenda that we want to pursue as the economic...